this. I know.
Y'all ever wonder why I tell you to get your fucking facts straight? It's to fucking avoid this sort of bullshit from happening. Allow me to introduce Valerie Graw, a service member who was a part of the Air Force who just made Staff Sergeant last year, and who recently just got engaged to one Zachary Dale, pictured here on the right picture, as also an Air Force member, and is the same Valerie that Sappho used to impersonate, saying it was her. You know, I don't know what is more disgusting. The fact that Sappho is a zoophile, or the fact she threw a fellow airman under the bus by impersonating her and using her name. But I can tell you right now, Sappho is an absolute disgrace to the uniform and to our country for doing that. From this point forward, Sappho will no longer be called Valerie. And transgender or not, they don't deserve to be called such anymore. Sappho is a straight-up cunt, and they deserve to hold that title. I mean, how much more are you going to go ahead and actually piss people off, Sappho? You have absolutely no disregard for the position you are now putting yourself in. I mean, let's face facts. The list goes on and on for you at this point. And you think that just because you have burner phones and a VPN blocker that you're going to stay hidden forever? Such confidence. But you see, the way I see it, everyone fucks up now and then. All it takes is just one little slip up, and then your ass is grass. There are hundreds of people trying to find you right now. And make no mistake, they will find you. So to everybody out there, allow me to go ahead and leave you with this bit of evidence that I have. These fun little photos of Sappho. I have actually talked with Miss Valerie, and she confirms that those photos are not her. So chances are we still have a face. However, this fun little image had a fun little set of numbers underneath your hand that we actually looked into. And turns out it was a phone number, which we had somebody go ahead and actually backcall it to see where it originated from. Now, I don't know if it's true or not of the Air Force base that it actually backtraced to, but if it is, then I guess you'll be lacking the land that you'll be standing on for much longer. I also want to say this to everybody that's going ahead and actually seeing all these little minors that she's coercing. This is getting more and more fucked up. It is fucking disgusting that kids under the age of 16 are absolutely following this bitch. This shit needs to stop ASAP. At this point, I am calling out any and all service members in the Air Force to straight up call out Sappho. If you know who they are and where they are, come forward, please. They have crossed a lot of lines in every community. We don't like this as much as y'all do. Any and all information helps, and we wish to give it to the proper authorities. Help us get this disgusting predator off of social media. Thank you. Have a good night.
So since someone kind of asked about the whole situation, I've been debating doing this, but I kind of want to get into how it all, I want to break everything down, like how it all happened, why it happened, and then I really want people to be clear about how it's affected me and how I kind of feel about it. So, I guess we'll just get right into it. So it all started Tuesday morning. My aunt texted me and said, hey, I got this weird message on Facebook. And she sent it to me. She screenshotted it, sent it to me. So she got it on Facebook, and it was a message request, and she just looked at it. And basically it's just someone saying, oh, this is who I am. You see, one of your family members is Valerie, and she's, this disgusting person doing these disgusting things. And she goes by this Twitter handle. All these things, which are untrue, but so she got that this was the first part of the message, and then here was the second part of the message with pictures, and my aunt and I kind of laughed it off, because I was like, oh, it must be spam, because those pictures aren't me, so we were like, oh, whatever, she just didn't respond. So I didn't think anything of it for a while, and I went back to work, and then I told my fiance about it, and I work from home, and he was in the office, and I said, oh, my aunt got this weird message, and he was like, I got one like that too. I don't have anything that people sent him. I don't really have it screenshotted, but then someone reached out to me in a message request, and they were like, are you this person? And I said, no. And I was like, why is my family and myself why are we getting these messages? And they were like, well, because someone accused you of being this person. And I was like, what do you mean someone's accusing me? And they sent me a video from TikTok of me with these accusations. And I was like, I was pissed, like livid. So then I was going on TikTok trying to tell people like, hey, it's not me. And everyone's, of course, like, well, how do we know? Whatever. And I'll get back into that. But, so I was trying to do damage control. I'm reporting videos. I'm reporting profiles. I was like, I do not know what to do. Like, and all I can think is like, my job is at stake. At one point I thought my life might be at stake because there were death threats. And it was scary. So I was all over TikTok for something I didn't do. And so since things take time, like reporting, I basically started replying to people like, hey, it's not me. Hey, take your videos down. You know, it's not me. I talked about the glasses I used to wear, and I'll bring that up again later. I kind of started to realize that it went farther than TikTok, and that it was on like, I knew it was on, I didn't even think to log into Instagram until later. Twitter I didn't know about. But I just kind of went into those. I went into like Instagram and Twitter and like locked them all down. I changed all my Facebook stuff so it wasn't private. And especially because I was like, well, if someone had these pictures of me that were on TikTok and stuff, that's what I was worried about because that's what I was seeing. And so I locked everything down. My Twitter I hadn't touched since literally 5 years ago. I just kind of took everything off of that. And, I was trying just to lock everything down, make sure that no one could kind of find me anymore. Because I was also getting comments like on like 1 or 2 posts on Facebook. And like I said, I was getting death threats about stuff and people saying they hoped I would get shot or they hoped that I would die, or people were making comments about like how to make pipe bombs and stuff like that. People were like, well, how do we know it's not you for sure? Like, and I was like, I don't have answers for you. You know, you're going to have to take me at face value. But yeah, it was really stressful. And then on top of that, my fiance got home from work later, and so like I had said, I didn't know how bad on Twitter it was. Well, that's where people were making a lot of the death threats. They were commenting on the organization I work for. They were commenting on that and making threats against me, making comments about me, and it was embarrassing. It was harmful to me. Like, all I could think was, my career is going to be over. They're going to be like, do you know these people? Do you know why this is happening? And it was so stressful at that time. And so I dealt with things with humor for a while, and I tried to be like, well, if I don't laugh about it, I'm going to get pissed. But that started to wane further in the day. Like, the more tired I got, the more stressed out I got, the worse and more, and like the bigger it got, the less I thought it was funny anymore, because it was starting to not be. So as a lot of it started to like tamper down, and I think people started to accept that I wasn't this person, it started to turn to, oh, well, this person has your identity. They stole your identity. And I was like, oh my God. So, like, I'm looking at my finances. I'm looking at my Facebook. Like, none of my accounts had logins from anyone but me. And, you know, I kept saying, you know, I'm not this person. But they kept bringing up the picture. They kept bringing up these pictures. And so, like, I had to make a whole video saying, like, hey, I'm not this person. I don't, and I don't know how that got misconstrued. People kept asking me, is this you? Is this you? You know, she has your identity. She has your pictures. And I was like, how many times? That's why I had brought up in the one video the glasses I used to wear. Because I never wore thin rim glasses. Like, that's why I was so frustrated with a lot of that. Because I was like, it's not me. All night Tuesday into Wednesday, you know, I'm getting these messages, I'm getting people asking stuff, wanting to talk to me about it, and I didn't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I was so tired of it. But then I'm on these, I'm being invited to, like, Discords, and people are calling me to apologize. And then they're like, hey, you know, we've spoke to higher ups in your organization. We've spoke to police in your organization. And I'm like, it was so humiliating and so degrading. So I had to go talk to people in my chain, telling people who respect me, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I'm being accused of. It's not true. I had to go talk to police about it, just to make sure, like, if my name would come up, that it wasn't true. Basically making sure if I try to get a security clearance in a couple years, that, hey, this person didn't do what the internet accused her of, whatever. Yeah, it was really humiliating. It was frustrating. And it just kind of kept going on. People kept contacting me and my fiance, you know, we're sorry. We didn't mean to do this. We want to get this person. I understand, whatever. I have nothing to do with this. Let's just make that super clear. I can't care what happens. I have no investment in this. The investment was put upon me when I was forced into this situation, which for a long time I thought someone had my identity. But that's not what happened. And that's what frustrates me the most. And I'll get really into that and then how it's affected me in the next part. So when I say that I don't have an investment in this, basically what I mean is that I knew nothing about this and I didn't want to know anything about any of this, but I was put into this situation. And so for whatever reason you guys are doing this, like, I want to be kept out of it. I don't want to be kept in the loop. I don't want to be involved. I wish I had never been involved. But the fact is that no one stole my identity. And the fact is that I was pulled into this by people who not only jumped the gun, but who had no regard for facts or anything like that. There's no excuse. Literally, and sorry doesn't fix these things. Because I'm the one who's been hurt by this, and nothing can be done about it. So, and I'm also incredibly aware of how I was dragged into this. This person, whatever, on Twitter said their name was Valerie. I just don't think it's that rare of a name. And I guess she had an Air Force uniform on, so I know for a fact someone put in Valerie Air Force in Google, because this is what I did. This is what this picture is of. I'm like the fourth or fifth result. And in the picture, it was from a couple months ago when I had a fade. I had really short brown hair. And in the picture, you can see my black rimmed glasses. Yeah, I'm not the person in the original pictures. That's me. I come up on Google because I have an award. But I have to say, I think it's stupid that anyone thought that was me. And the fact that just because you Googled a first name and a military branch and like, oh, someone came up, oh, that must be them. I'm not the only Valerie in the Air Force, and I just don't think that was an acceptable correlation to make. I just feel like a lot more facts should have been dug up before any of this was done. The whole thing is just, it's so stupid. I've had to tell so many people about this, and I hate it every time. I mean, there's so many people that know about it now that I just wish didn't. I wish I didn't know about this, but here I am, you know. Yeah, it's just really upsetting. But also, so I deal a lot with severe anxiety, and I usually mitigate it pretty okay. And for a couple of nights, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, I was scared to go outside. I was scared to talk to people. I was scared someone was going to know about it before I could explain it. I was scared I was going to have my life ruined, pretty much. I guess what I kind of want to have as my final thoughts is, like, get facts before you do stuff. What you do might impact a lot of people's lives, or it could potentially ruin someone's life. Take accountability, listen when people like try to explain things. Don't dox people. I just, Never thought I'd have to say this stuff online. My friends know about this. I have to tell my family about this. Like, I just have too much going on to be worrying about this stuff, and it's just super frustrating. So, yeah. I just implore everybody to think before you make accusations, direct accusations. Because I gotta be honest, I was basically targeted by a group of people that I have done nothing to, that I had no issues with, and then all of a sudden I'm public enemy number one for literally no reason, because I come up on Google, because of my name and because of my hair color. So, yep, I guess that's all I have to say. Things are hard, and I'm sorry to be the one to say that apologies don't always fix things, and sometimes you have to really own up to your mistakes. So, yep, that's about it.